In spite of what the media has said, electric car sales here in Australia have in fact grown a fair bit since last year. Here are the top 10 best-selling EVs in Australia, and here are the percentages proving the media is just making stuff up. Hello my friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. It's great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. There will be, guys, a new video up today on our YouTube member section. If you want to check that out, I'll put a link to the members page in the description. So far this year, here in little country of Australia, more than 50,000 electric cars have been sold. As far as I know, they're certainly not ruining any weekends, guys. Anyhow, this means electric car sales have grown by at least 17%. Now we know this because Polestar, they don't report their EV sales in Australia anymore because they have to be paid to be part of this group, and that group is kind of dominated by Toyota. And Toyota are basically lobbying and other legacy automakers, including Ford as well. They're lobbying the Australian government to basically to change the rules, to not have harsh rules on internal combustion engines so that they can continue to pollute. And Australia has traditionally had some pretty lax rules on internal combustion vehicles. So that means that a lot of the emissions rules that don't apply elsewhere, or that do apply elsewhere, don't apply here. Anyway, Polestar spat the dummy, so did Tesla, and they said, screw you guys, we're going to leave this group. Anyhow, EV sales have grown by around 17% this year in Australia. And that means that all the hundreds of news articles saying EV sales in Australia are terrible and worldwide they're terrible, they're up by about 20% worldwide this year. Yeah, well, clearly the reality here is that Tesla, of course, is dominating here in Australia, and EV sales are actually doing pretty well. Now, the Tesla Model Y, of course, is the best-selling car in Australia this year with 12,516 deliveries. 12,516. That puts it not far ahead of the Tesla Model 3. The Model 3 is in second place with 10,600. In third is the BYD Seal with 4,092. Fourth is the BYD Atto 3, just behind the Seal with 3,726 deliveries. That might change a little bit now though, now that the Atto 3 has been updated. Some pretty nice updates. I think it makes the Atto 3 a much more compelling car to buy, including a better color. You can get a better color for the Atto 3 now. Anyway, guys, I'll put a link in the description to my video, which is about the updates to the new BYD Atto 3. Fifth, MG4, 2,771 deliveries. Now, next is the BYD Dolphin with 1,248, followed by the surprising, guys, very surprising here. I don't understand how this is possible, but apparently it's happened. BMW iX1, 1,237 BMW iX1s have been sold in Australia. So that means the BMW iX1 is the 7th best-selling car in Australia. That's followed by the BMW i4, 1,177 deliveries. Guys, if you're watching the channel and you've bought a BMW i4, I'm curious to know why. I mean, I've seen a few reviews in comparison tests between the new Model 3 and the BMW i4, and both times, the two videos that I saw, two mainstream channels, the Tesla Model 3 won actually, and it's definitely much cheaper than the BMW i4. So I'm curious to know, what is the reasoning? Is it because of the indicator stalks, or is it something else? Kia EV6 was next with 1,060 deliveries, followed by the Volvo C40 XC40 Recharge, 1,023. The Volvo EX30, 1,001. Now, speaking of the Volvo EX30, this has suddenly become a very big selling car worldwide. And I think it's going to do incredibly well here in Australia. But probably so well, maybe even better, the new Zeekr X, which is coming out in a few months' time. It's built on the same exact production line as the EX30. It's bigger, 20 centimeters longer, and it's, well, journalists that I've spoken to say it's 30% more premium, and the price will be about the same. So, yeah, if I were you, I'd be waiting for the Zeekr X. Anyhow, next is the Hyundai Kona Electric, 892 deliveries, followed by the MG ZS EV with 640. Now, guys, if you're interested in the list, I mean, they're the main best-selling cars, best-selling EVs in Australia, but I'll go down the list even further. You've got the Mercedes-Benz EQA, 624. Now, the Mercedes-Benz EQA, it's probably the first car on this list that I personally would say, no way in hell I'm buying that. For the price I'm talking about. Now, if the car was, say, the same price as an MG ZS, I'd say, not bad. Yeah, okay. But it's not. It's double the price, and it's sure as hell not worth the money. Anyway, Great Wall Motors Aura, only 592 deliveries for the cheapest electric car in Australia. You can buy one of these things for 35,000 Australian dollars. That's about 24,000 US dollars. Incredibly affordable. I mean, it's a good car for the money. I don't care what anyone says. I think it's a great car for the money. Toyota BZ4X. So the Toyota BZ4X is significantly more expensive here, about $10,000 more expensive here than a Tesla Model Y. As a result, only real hardcore Toyota fans are buying them. Next is the BMW iX3, 545 sales, followed by the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Really disappointing sales from the Hyundai Ioniq 5. I don't understand it. It's much better than all those BMW cars I listed. I think it is anyway. And yeah, it's selling less than them, even though it's more affordable. As you can see, guys, if you go down the list a bit further, you can see here you've got the Ford Mustang Mach-E, 326 sales. That's not selling very well either. It's also too expensive. So yeah, I mean, really realistically, Tesla is completely dominating. Tesla and BYD, they're really dominating the EV market here in Australia. And it's kind of weird to say this, right? Tesla have sold 12 times as many Model Ys as Kia have sold of the EV6. Or Tesla have sold 24 times as many Model Ys as Hyundai have sold, or Hyundai have sold, as we call it here in Australia, of the Ioniq 5. Really crazy, right? But I think what's more surprising here to a lot of people is that the Tesla Model 3, if deliveries hadn't been going full stream this year, they would have sold as many Model 3s as they have Model Ys. Been a few pauses. I mean, the performance model's been taking longer to arrive than we hoped it would. But anyway, I mean, Model 3 sales have been quite a surprise, quite a success as well, in spite of the buttons, no stalks. Seems like 10,600 people didn't really care that much about that feature, but neither do people who buy a Ferrari. They don't have stalks either. Anyhow, guys, let's have a look at sales for the month of June. We have sales for the month of... In June, Tesla sold 2,900 Model Ys. Tesla Model 3, 1,777, second place. Third place was the BYD Seal with 706 sales. Fourth, the Volvo EX30, as I said, rising up the sales charts already, 420 sales. Fifth, the MG4 with 395. Next was the Polestar 2 with 356, followed by the BYD Atto 3, 351, BMW i4, 316, the BYD Dolphin, 204, Kia EV6, 158, Mercedes-Benz EQA, 121, and the Great Wall Motors Aura with 114. So as you can see, no Toyotas, no Fords, no Volkswagens, of course, either, because Volkswagen doesn't sell EVs here in Australia. Overall here, there's two things that I would notice. Well, one is, of course, Tesla continues to dominate, which is amazing considering the so-called Tesla graveyards that are here in Australia. Apparently those might not exist. Possibly. Yeah, the media won't ever correct that story though. Anyhow, the other interesting thing is I think BYD will probably continue to take market share here in Australia. And I do think BYD will become eventually the biggest car maker here in the country. In fact, it's inevitable. For example, if BYD was to sell tomorrow, every model that they have on sale right now in China, let's say they just charge 10% more or even 20% more on the price versus what they sell them for in China. I believe they have probably more market share than Toyota within the matter of a month. But that's a few years away. 5 years away, I don't know what it is. But I just saw a new vehicle, BYD, one of their luxury SUVs. It's been spotted here in Australia. It's testing here in Australia. That's going to be coming in right-hand drive. BYD Shark's coming, pickup truck. That's what dominates the car market here, pickup trucks. If the new BYD Shark is actually good, BYD will really put a scare into Ford and Toyota. Now all we need is a Tesla Cybertruck. Thanks for watching.